One of the rules of thumb in business is it's just like going to the gym. If you get advice from somebody in a gym, you got to look at the person and say, do they have the kind of body that I want? If they do, then you probably listen to them. If they don't, then you go, I'm not going to follow their advice because that's not working out too well. Same thing in business. You got to look and see, do the people who are giving me advice have experience in business? If they have experience in business and they've done things bigger than what you've done, well, they're probably good people to listen to. Okay, so when we look at chiropractors coming out of school, they have a lot of student debt. Chiropractic school is expensive. Is it as expensive as medical school? Probably not, but it's pretty up there. It's more expensive than college was because it's a graduate program. So you have a lot of debt. A lot of times, most people coming out of school have a lot of debt. And now you go, how do I handle that debt? You have to generate enough income to pay off that debt, but you have to have money to put aside to invest into a business if you're going to create a business. It's true most of the time, the vast majority of the time, that when you own a business, you can generate more income than if you have a job. That is true. But there's a caveat to that. You have to know what to do. Either that or you're going to be working your butt off trying to figure out what to do all along the way. And some people say it's not worth it. I'd rather just have a job. And I agree. Some people should just have a job and not do a business. It's not cut out for everybody. But if you have that entrepreneurial seizure and you want to start a business and you start your own chiropractic practice or medical practice and you want to grow that thing, you'd be smart to realize putting investment into somebody who can make it happen faster is way more return. There's a cost of investing into consulting. And that cost is having to pay the consultant. The only way that becomes an investment is if what the consultant tells you has a large return. So to get a good return on your money, you have to make sure that the company you're working with knows what they're doing. One of the rules of thumb in business is it's just like going to the gym. If you get advice from somebody in a gym, you got to look at the person and say, do they have the kind of body that I want? If they do, then you probably listen to them. If they don't, then you go, I'm not going to follow their advice because that's not working out too well. Same thing in business. You got to look and see, do the people who are giving me advice have experience in business? If they have experience in business and they've done things bigger than what you've done, well, they're probably good people to listen to. So what we try to do is, my wife and I have been very successful over the years. We've had many businesses. All of them have been very successful. We've grown very large businesses, and we've been in rooms with very, very large people that see how they learn to grow their business. So what we do is we help the average chiropractor who's struggling, or even chiropractors that are fairly successful, but they want to get to another level. We can help them with that because we've been through it ourselves, and we help people to grow their business. Getting that debt paid off is only going to happen if you have a vehicle to bring in enough money to pay it off quickly. You know, you hear stories about people say, oh, buying a house is a bad investment because it changed you to that house. You spend your whole life working to pay for the house, which a lot of people do. And then at the end, you have to sell the thing to be able to cash in on the investment. It's not a great investment. It's nice to have a house, and I've had many houses, but what you want to have is an income source that is way better. If you invest in things that generate income, that's how you get out of that big debt hole. The only way to get out of a big, massive debt is to generate big income. Not cutting corners, because cutting corners results in eventually having to pay back money for fines or for things that you haven't done correctly, and it can cost you a lot more money and put you in even bigger debt. But if you're able to create an income source that generates a lot of money so you can pay off the debt that you have, you could also probably invest in things that generate more income. So realize there's a difference between buying a service or buying a product and investing in your business. When you invest with a company that can help you grow your business and you're looking for a return, it's smart to check out the history of that company and see how successful they've been and how successful the people that are running that company have been in their own careers. If they have careers like you would like, that's a good company to invest in. If they can't show you that track record, they probably don't know how to do it. So what we do is we've been through the game of growing medical practices and chiropractic practices. We know how to grow those practices and how to keep them growing and have multiple practices running without us having to be there. That's what we teach our clients. And you don't have to do all that. You can do as much of it as you want. You just want a little bit more income to be able to have a nice nest egg for your family? Great. You want to dominate your market? Great. You want to be able to have it so you don't have to be at work to make money? We can help you do that. But we're not going to cut corners. We're going to show you the right way to do it because we've done it ourselves. And that was our goal, do it the right way.